everyone, I'm April Cummings in for Donna Bush with your CIG-TV News Brief on this Friday. The Royal Cayman Islands Police Service and government officials spent Friday in meetings following news of a shooting overnight that left one person dead, one in critical condition, and 4 injured. Just after 1:45 a.m. Friday morning, 911 dispatched police and other emergency services to the scene of the incident in Georgetown. To facilitate the investigation, police diverted traffic away from the scene for some time. Anyone with information that may assist in inquiries is asked to contact the RCIPS Major Incident Room at 649-2930. Governor Martin Roper and Premier the Honorable Wayne Panton both condemned gun violence and extended their condolences to the families of all affected. Asking the public to remain calm, Governor Roper said police would receive full support from his office and the United Kingdom government. Members of the National Security Council met at Government Administration Building in the afternoon. The shootings Friday morning followed another incident the previous Friday in which a victim died at the scene and 3 others were wounded. As the world settles into its second year of the COVID-19 pandemic, the Cayman Islands on Sunday will mark 1 year without local transmission of the disease. After the first case was reported on March 13, 2020, the Cayman Islands maintained its success in battling the coronavirus through strict border control and travel regulations. Stringent technology-based quarantine measures and rigorous contact tracing have also been vital to help the nation, one of the only of a handful worldwide to achieve this milestone. Chief Medical Officer Dr. John Lee spoke to CIG-TV at length about the fight to keep the Cayman Islands COVID-free.
It's really great news that we've made it through a whole year without one community case of transmission of COVID-19 disease. This is down to a lot of very hard work from a huge number of people. And although I have a big long list of people that I think need to be thanked and acknowledged, I know that the list will not be complete. But right from the members of the National Emergency Operations Committee, Hazard Management, the Travel Tech Cayman team who've worked tirelessly in this regard, and all of their supporting networks like the Department of Environmental Health people that work on the teams, or the police, the port workers, but not just the people that might be obvious, but also the people that work in taxis, the people that work in the Aviation Authority, baggage handlers, not least to mention the healthcare workers, all the people providing testing at the various hospitals, the doctors and nurses and porters and the lab people, but also everybody else that's been assisting around the edges, such as those doing jobs they wouldn't normally do, like dentists providing nasopharyngeal swabs. Within healthcare, it's even wider than that because people have developed protocols, they've changed their practice, and everybody has pulled together in order to try and help keep the community safe and also prepare ourselves for the onslaught of a possible outbreak of COVID, which thank goodness we have not had to have. Healthcare then has probably had the greatest challenge, and there have been lots of major issues and hurdles to overcome, such as getting things through the supply chain to Cayman, which can be problematic, as we know, in the best of times, but in the time of a pandemic, we sometimes have to pull every string that we know to exist, and then a few more, to be assisted by people like the Governor's Office or the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office in order to get essential supplies and testing equipment and so on to the islands. There are people that have helped us from the generosity of their good hearts, and the public have been so enormously supportive too. I mean, complying with all our requests, going into lockdown, having to do homeschooling, the teachers involved with that, but also the parents having to provide the childcare for days on end or weeks on end that they thought would really overstretch them, but everybody managed, and in some or many cases, people have ended up having a more interesting and fruitful family relationship as a result of the closeness. The shops, the restaurants, all the home deliveries, lots of different processes. I can't thank everybody enough. It's been a very tough year for everybody, and in particular for a lot of the providers around the essential services to do with COVID-19, and I thank you all very much indeed. As we move towards the reopening of the country, please do remember that if you're not vaccinated, if you're vulnerable or elderly, you should consider wearing masks in indoor spaces and to keep your distance from people. We'll realize that the quarantine time for some people has gone down to 5 days, and there is a slightly increased risk of transmission of COVID with that So we just need to be aware and to take care of ourselves and of all of our community. One final thing is to remind people that the best way you can help protect the community is to be vaccinated, because then if you're vaccinated, the virus cannot jump from person to person so easily, and when it can't do that, it can't multiply and it can't mutate. Thank you very much.
For the last few days, local art lovers have been enjoying the first ever Cayman Art Week. The event has featured tours of commercial art galleries and professional studios across all 3 Cayman Islands. It was developed to promote and support artists and the local art sector, whom organizers say have been greatly impacted by the COVID-19 global pandemic. Cayman Art Week is sponsored by the Department of Tourism and Georgetown Revitalization Initiative, in addition to private sector partners. An Art in the City reception in central Georgetown started at 5 p.m. this Friday evening. It will support Georgetown revitalization. For more information on the remaining events throughout the weekend, visit CaymanArtWeek.com. Moderate easterly winds and seas will continue across the Cayman area due to a ridge of high pressure dominating the weather over the Caribbean. Radar images are showing some isolated showers around the Cayman area moving towards the west. The forecast for tonight, partly cloudy skies, 20% chance of showers, with temperatures falling to the upper 70s. Winds southeast at 5 to 10 knots and moderate seas, wave heights 3 to 5 feet. A reminder, you can find the latest on local weather conditions online at weather.gov.ky. That's it for today's news brief here on CIG Television. I'm April Cummings in for Donna Bush, inviting you to join us back here again on Monday.